Oh, God. Well, we're going with a neutral background today, that's all. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be me going through my eyeshadow palette collection. This was much requested, but alongside of my whole entire makeup collection was requested, but I think I'm going to do it like in segments and not the whole thing at once, so we don't have an hour-long video here. It's more like, hopefully like a 20-minute video. I'm going to keep the intro really short because, girl, we already know this video is going to be long. So we'll jump right in and get started. Be sure and subscribe to my channel before you leave this video. And be sure to grab your grandma, your mom, your dad, your cat, your dog, and a bowl of popcorn and enjoy the video. Let's go. Alright guys, here is the first drawer. I just want you to know there's 4 drawers. Hello focus. There are 4 drawers of palettes, so I'll move kind of quickly through them. And I just want to let you know my drugstore palettes are in a separate compartment in my closet and they are organized in that. So jumping right in, getting started, this back row here is my Too Faced collection. We have chocolate bars, peach, and then like the little heart love palette. And then back here is my Urban Decay family. Urban Decay, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get the point. And if you open this one up here, this is one of my first high-end palettes. This is a palette that's probably expired and I don't use it anymore. I just keep it because I really started my channel with this palette. It's like one of my first high-end palettes that I ever owned besides buying single MAC eyeshadows. She's been through it with me. She's been through many jobs, many life changes with me. And this is when the palette first came out. I bought this one, so it's like a new palette, or not new, a super old palette, and I don't know, it's like a keepsake. I always tell boys, like, if they don't understand makeup, I'm like, think about baseball cards and things that men collect, and girls collect makeup. It's a collector's item. Moving on, I have all my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes right here. We have some oldies, some of their first eyeshadow palettes, the Lavish palette. I don't know if you guys remember something like this that came out with them, but it's another oldie that I just keep on deck because, y'all, I can't get rid of the little trophies that I've collected throughout the years. Mind you, before going in this video, majority of my makeup is sent to me in PR. I do not buy all of this makeup, but hell, if it wasn't sent to me, I probably would buy most of it anyways because I'm crazy. I think this is, I don't want to say this is Anastasia Beverly Hills' first eyeshadow palette. This is the Catwalk palette, and I remember buying this and was just so stoked about it, and I used it a lot back in the day. She is so old. She's antique. Don't look at her too hard. She might bust into dust. Whew. So anything ABH is right back here. And then we'll move on to this little stash I got right here. These are a couple newer palettes except for the Tartelette and Bloom palette. My friend Solna came out with the Persona palette. Lorac came out with this cute little guy right here. And it's got some really interesting shades in it and it kind of inspires me. So I want to play with that. I haven't played with it yet. And then I recently filmed a little Toot Toot tutorial that I'll link down below with this new NARS Loaded palette. This is such a great eyeshadow palette. It's very pretty. Then over here I have some friends from Morphe. I love these little palettes. I think they are definitely worth your dollar. If my voice is going in and out, it's because I'm turning my head. This is not an eyeshadow palette. Get out of here. Oh my god. But anyways, these are just like mini eyeshadow palettes from Morphe. I think they're $12.99 and then you get the discount code as well. So they're so pretty. This is actually one of my favorite, the 12NB. Oh, I mean, this is like the travel palette. It's just got every color in it that you need, honey. And then finally, these guys right here. My favorite one that went out of stock first, of course, I believe was the 25B palette. I recommended this one to you guys. These palettes are just everything. And I really love the clear packaging better than the black packaging because you can see what you got. Now we'll start on this little hunk right here. This is the Queen of Hearts palette. I think it's coming back in stock soon. It's by Color Rain. Awesome palette. Then my baby Devil Rain. These are his 2 eyeshadow palettes. First, we have Beauty Killer. Super sick eyeshadow palette. Loves it, and I want to use this more. Like, I'm looking at these palettes like, damn, I need to use this more. And then we have Androgyny, which recently launched. This palette is everything in a bag of chips. The colors are so creative and so inspiring to do something fun. This palette is sold out by Dose of Colors, but it's the Eye Cream palette. Then we have some Smashbox and Lorac palettes. And then new from Dose of Color are these eyeshadows. There's like a cool tone, warm tone palettes, and they're actually some of the creamiest eyeshadows of life, and I'm super impressed with them, and I plan on playing with them way more. This is the mauve one. I'm a sucker for a good mauve color as well, so it's so pretty. It comes with these cute little brushes. Get in there. Get in there. forget it. All right, Yoshi has joined us. She's circling around the drawer, so if you hear toenails, you know what that is. This drawer is, of course, randomness, but this first section is palettes that I kind of created myself. These are all Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and I just put on, look how the Z palette matches. I heard there was tea on Z palette being rude to people on their Instagram page. I don't know. I honestly didn't get the full scoop, and I don't mean to be mentioning this unless I know the whole entire story, because I don't, but someone will enlighten me in the comment section, I'm sure. Anyways, here are more eyeshadows. I think, yeah, these are all Makeup Geek's new. Yep, these are the new ones from Makeup Geek, so I just popped the new ones in here. And then this is my Sephora old school Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette that I traveled with forever and a day. These eyeshadows are so old. And then this eyeshadow palette, the reason they're missing, they have holes in it, is because I did recently a lot of traveling, and I'll show you. These are all Anastasia Beverly Hills, by the way. But I did traveling, and I created like my own little travel palettes, and this is typically things that I do whenever I travel. I'll create like my own little moment just so I can carry a little one in my luggage with me. And then we're gonna jump into glitters, which is always so excited. Anybody remember when I did the full face glitter challenge? These came in handy. So some new eyeshadow palettes. Oh, those smell so strong though. Those are by Glitter Injections. But Pinky Rose Cosmetic came out with these glitter palettes right here. I think I gave, no more, Manny didn't take one. I thought I gave one to Manny. Anyways, these do not swatch well at all, but if you pat them, they are everything that you could dream of. So you just have to apply them like in a motion. Don't do anything like this. They're just tricky to work with, but once you get it down, they're absolutely amazing. This is the same brand, Pinky Rose. Such a cool palette. And then this is Pinky Rose's actual eyeshadow palette. I've swatched these a little and they felt nice, but I haven't played with them on my eyelids yet. They may be super cool. I'm just not going to give a definite answer on that right now because I don't know, but they swatch super nice and you get a lot of color. Okay, so these are big Morphe Z palettes, and I think I'm going to redo all my Z palettes and get rid of them and buy all Morphe big palettes because I have these palettes for sale on their site, and they're like double the freaking size, and they're affordable. So right here are my Morphe single eyeshadows, and then right here are my big Morphe pressed pigments. That one is a Makeup Geek, or actually a Makeup Forever. And then these are Excess Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yep, I have another one, and they are all ColourPop, honey. ColourPop recently launched their single eyeshadows, and I just put them in a big Morphe palette. Next are some of my MAC palettes that I created myself. I have a load of MAC single eyeshadows I need to fill these palettes up with, but this one is probably 5 years old, and then this one's probably 5 years old too. And then this one MAC sent to me. It was already pre-made, but super pretty. Next, I won't go through all these, but these are my Morphe palettes. This little one is the Jaclyn Hill one, but I will show you the most recent one that just launched in case you... Okay, that's the 35O. Is it crazy that, like, I can just look at the palette and I can tell you exactly what it is? This is the 35R palette, and it is everything. I gotta be honest with you, this one almost beats the 35O. I almost like it better just because, I mean, it's very fall time, but it's still just colors that I use every single day. And I like how the palette's organized, and then they have two satins right here, shimmers, mattes, the whole works. It's a dream eyeshadow palette, honestly. I hope it's still in stock by the time this video goes live. Next over here is just like a random stash. I have a couple YouTubers palettes. There's Kathleen with Morphe, Carly Bible BH, Tarte and Graveyard Girl, A Lancome, Lunatic Cosmetics, and then the Marc Jacobs Holiday Palette. Let me just say, these fingernails have been through hell and high water, and I'm giving them a rest. This one, they're bare today. Okay guys, this is my mini eyeshadow palette drawer where the smaller palettes go to die. I'm just kidding. These are the Too Faced mini palettes. This is one of my favorite ones that I bought many moons ago. The Summer Eye palette. They don't sell it anymore, but I'm showing it to you just to make you angry because I don't know. I bought a lot of these with my own money. Now I get them sent to me, which is super exciting and special. This is the newest one, the Peanut Butter and Honey palette. Me and my husband actually got in a big fight if it was called honey or peanut butter and honey. He was right, I was wrong.
He was right, I was wrong.
That was a first. And then I have just some more smaller palettes. And then back here are just Makeup Forever. We got La Rock, and then this little Tarte Tease palette, which I actually think this one is like the cutest little thing. Look at that. That is just too cute. These right here are all the Smashbox little mini palettes. I did mini tutorials on Instagram with these. Girl, they came out with so many of these. They did not play Smashbox. Woo! If you didn't get to see the inside of these, this is what it looks like. Super pretty. And then we had some of my favorite little things that Morphe ever came out with, and I traveled with these a lot. These little mini eyeshadow palettes were so creamy and great in pigmentation, so the little palettes, I love anything little. I just think it's the cutest. Then we have a mini NARS palette. I have to show you this too. It's just so cute. This is the Hot Long Summer palette. Back here I have 3 Visart palettes. These are some of the best eyeshadows I've ever used, but girl, you gonna pay because these are not cheap. And I actually have traveled with those a lot. Moving right over to this section right here, I have my MAC eyeshadow palettes. Some of these are just like little mini Mariah Carey moments, a lot of little collabs in there. And then we have the Laura Mercier A new palette that came out with. I tampered with this a little bit and it was really pretty. I have, of course, my Urban Decay Naked Basics and their Naked Basics 2. I believe Gabriel Zamora has my big size one. I'll come for you, Gabby. This one's really cute too. Maneater from Tarte. I have the Studio Gear makeup. I actually got both these out of my BoxyCharm. It's like a $21 a month subscription, and we got these badass palettes that came in it. Okay, I see you, BoxyCharm. Back here, I have some Ciate palettes. Actually, all these are Ciate palettes, and there's one of my favorite Sigma Beauty palettes. It's called Warm Neutrals. Next drawer. Hi everyone. Here is my last drawer, and in case you're wondering, I'm just sitting on the floor with a bag of hot Cheetos and a water. Chilling. Okay, let's keep rolling. I just hijacked my husband's phone and was just posting a bunch of shit on his IG story. Anyways, this is the Violet Voss Wabam! What's this palette called? Ride or Die palette. We have the Juvia's Place palette. These are awesome eyeshadows. We have the new Matte About You. They're now doing discount codes with Violet Voss and giving you guys 10% off, so the code is Larlees. And then we have the Holy Grail palette. Yes, she's been through hell. And then we have... I have 2 Larlees Violet Voss palettes. This is like the prototype of it where, you know, I sent for the shade, look, it says Holy Grail on it, and they sent it to me if I like the shade placements of the palette, and I was like, I approved it. And yeah, I used the hell out of this while they were actually making the actual palette, and so I just keep it because it's special. And then here is my actual palette, again, that has been shown some major love. Then we have the Drench Metals palette. This one's more colorful and fun. And then we have one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. It's by Marc Jacobs. This one came out at Christmas time, but I believe they still have it. And these colors are just amazing quality, and I've really enjoyed this guy right here. We have, ooh, okay, it's just stuff's exploding now. So let me just show you. We have 3 Tarte Friends right there. We have Jouer's Essential Eyeshadow palette. We have the brand new Jouer palette that just launched. This is their spring palette, and she is gorgeous, honey. I have the new Meet Matte Adore and the Meet Matte palette from the Balm Cosmetics. And then all of this is like a bunch of Urban Decay. We have the Moondust palette. These are great if you use them as not an eyeshadow and use them more like packing on a glitter and put some glitter glue under it. But if you use it like an eyeshadow, they're really just a mess. But I actually keep this because I love these as a glitter. We have the Pure Trolls palette. I think this is sold out, so let me get this out of here. We have the After Dark palette from Urban Decay. Very colorful, like all shimmers, but I love it. Electric palette, and then the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, which you guys have seen. I don't know why my little Tarte friend's hanging out back there, but this is the Pro palette from Tarte. You guys have seen several times on my channel. I definitely have showed that palette some love, honey. And then I have the Full Spectrum Vice palettes, and then Through the Looking Glass palettes from Urban Decay. I think this is my favorite Vice palette. Yeah, so I'm gonna show it to you. It's really pretty. And then this is one of my favorite. This is so random how this little palette's like one of my favorites from Tarte. But this is a Style by Harouche palette. Favorite blush color. And then I loved all the eyeshadow colors. I just really love this palette, okay? And then right here are all my ColourPop single eyeshadow palettes. And these eyeshadows are the bomb, and they're incredibly affordable. Oh, look who the cat drug in. The little Manny MUA Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette. I have some artist palettes from Makeup Forever. Lorac Unzipped, such an old palette. The Chloe Morello X Ciote palette. That sounds nothing like her accent. She's probably laughing at me right now. The Nikkie Tutorials and Too Faced eyeshadow palette. And then I really enjoyed this palette right here. This is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold eyeshadow palette. It's very pretty, and it has like a really cool top row of kind of like a cream-like pigment. Then I reviewed this on my channel. This is the Natural Love Palette Too Faced just launched. And then I have 2 of the Mega Pros from Lorac. I honestly don't really use these anymore. And if I continue not to use them, I will pass them on to a loved one who will enjoy them more. So that is my palette collection. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching. Be sure and subscribe before you leave. And also just know that, you know, these palettes hanging out in here are ones that I enjoy and that I love. And once the time moves on and new stuff comes out and I don't use them as much, they do get either donated to charity or I give them away to a loving family member who is a makeup lover. That sounds fair, right? And then you guys know I do Boo Koodles giveaways with you to give back to you, the people who support and watch my channel. So thank you guys for being here. Subscribe before you leave.